She noticed how the crowd reacted. Many of them seemed to appreciate her style, especially the younger ones. They liked rocking out and worshiping with enthusiasm. What was wrong with that? But just as she was really getting into it, Dad had shot her the look. The look that said, "Knock it off." Grace sighed as she glanced around the crowded parking lot, trying to remember where Dad had parked their SUV this morning. She shaded her eyes, peering into the sunshine and wishing she'd driven herself today. That way, she could have made a quiet escape without risking more lectures on the way home. "Hey, superstar!" Grace turned to see her friend Rachel on her heels. "Hey, Rach." She stopped, waiting for her to catch up. "You really rocked today," Rachel said as she joined her. "Glad you thought so." "Actually, what I meant was..." Rachel's mouth twisted to one side, as if she was weighing her words. "I mean, well, it was pretty lively in there for a while." "And lively is good, right?" Grace frowned at her best friend. Rachel shrugged. "Sometimes. Not always." "Isn't lively better than falling asleep during worship?" Grace frowned. "I don't know. I think rocking out might make some of the older folks uncomfortable." Speaking of older folks, Grace tipped her head to where her parents were strolling their way. Rachel laughed. "Your parents aren't old folks." "Guess that depends on your perspective." Now Grace heard the door clicking unlocked, so she opened up the back of the SUV and slid in her guitar case. "I better get going," Rachel told her. "I'll come by the bookstore tomorrow," Grace said. "You working?" "Always," Rachel waved. "See ya." Grace slipped into the back seat, and slumping down, she went into invisible mode as she stared at her iPhone. Her seemingly oblivious parents chatted congenially as they got in. They made the usual small talk about church and friends they'd visited with, and after a bit, they started discussing today's sermon. Occasional comments were tossed her direction, but her one-word answers didn't exactly encourage conversation. She stared out the window, surveying the sleepy streets of Homewood, Alabama. This place wasn't exactly bustling during the week, but on Sunday, it felt like a ghost town. "You're being awfully quiet," Mom said to her. "Everything okay?" "Everything's fine." Of course, whenever Grace used the fine word, it had a completely different meaning. "You know, Grace, the day will come when you'll miss us," her dad said in a teasing tone. "Next year, when you're off at college, you'll think back to these times and..." "I don't plan to go to college," she said abruptly. Okay, she hadn't meant to break it to them like this, but maybe it was time. "What?" Mom turned to look at her. "I don't plan to go to college," she repeated the dreaded words. "Of course you plan to go to college. You've already been accepted at..." "I'm not going," she declared. "Why not?" Mom asked. "Because I want to do music." "Here we go again," Dad said flippantly. "Don't make fun of me," she told him. "I'm 18 and I'm old enough to make up my own mind about my own life. I want a music career. Going to college is not going to..." "A music career is fine. After college," he said firmly. "You know how hard it is for musicians?" Mom tried. "You need something to fall back on, Gracie. Like teaching music. You are a fabulous "Yeah, right. Or haven't you heard? The ones who teach music are the ones who can't do music," Grace snapped. "Don't disrespect your mother," Dad warned. Fortunately, he was just pulling up into the driveway, and this doomed conversation was about to end. "Sorry, Mom," she said quickly. Then, as the garage door slowly opened, Grace jumped out of the SUV. Hurrying around back, where she knew the patio door was unlocked, she let herself into the house and dashed up to her room. Yes, she knew it was childish to play the "I want to be alone" game, but besides needing some space, she hoped to get her parents' attention. She wanted them to see that she was serious. She did not want to go to college, and they could not force her.